Poland's #1, Krzysztof Ratajski, for the right to face either Daryl Gurney or Gerwyn Price in the semi-finals later.
First leg, it's Krzysztof to throw first. Game on.
Krzysztof Ratajski coming through earlier today at the expense of Joe Cullen by 6 legs to 3. Ian White seeing off his roommate Michael Smith by 6 legs to 4 with a ton-plus average of his own as well. Paul Nicholson alongside me. Paul, you were watching Chizzy out there. Just a quick word about that before we go too far in this one.
Inevitable. Spoke to Dave this morning. He said that when he was at the offices of his new darting manufacturer, one of the people in the office said, I bet you can't hit a 9-darter on your first day with your new darts, and he did in the office. And I thought, well, that's a bit ominous for our part, because he is playing that well. And as soon as that 7th 60 went in, I thought, he's hitting this. There's nobody in the world who's as likely to hit a 9-darter for me than Dave Chisnell. We did a thing on the PDC website recently called Tour Mates, and we were asked about certain people on the tour, and I was asked the question, who's the most likely to hit a 9-darter? I said Dave Chisnell. And 30. The most likely person to have a 9-darter hit against him is James Wade. It's unbelievable how many times James gets a 9-darter against him. But Ian White, at the start of this match, may have just inherited his own chant.
41.
In the words of Why Oh Why the Diamond, I think that's pretty good. I think that should catch on. The Challenge Tour, we've talked about it all day long. It's been the biggest day of the year for the Challenge Tour, which is where Ratajski picked up a title a couple of years ago. It has concluded, and we did break the news that Callan Ridds has won the Challenge Tour rankings with a place at Ali Pali and a 2-year tour card. But the second place in the rankings has been wrapped up. It's Jesus Nogueira of Spain. He's got there. He has got the tour card, and he doesn't have to go to Hildesheim in January.
137.
Well, Krzysztof Ratajski is not winning titles on the Challenge Tour anymore because he's winning titles on the Pro Tour. He has had another stellar year. 2 times a winner on the Pro Tour this year.
70.
Taking 1 title in Wigan in June, another one more recently at the start of August in Hildesheim. 5 PDC titles to his name.
38. In Uruguay, 134.
Shouldn't forget about the fact he's a world master as well.
Yes, he is.
And he won it the hard way. We've talked a lot about that this weekend with Krzysztof. Ian can take this if he gets a treble 14. Oh, that for double 7, that's clever. Oh, that's clever. And that is a statement from Ian White.
Second leg is Ian to throw first. Game on.
Well, no sign of any let-up in terms of the scoring and in terms of the finishing. What a standard we are seeing on this final day. From the word go, you've got to say. Aspinall against Van Gerwen, the first match of the day, and pretty much from that moment on, we have been served up treat after treat after treat.
Some of these players are playing today like this is the last title on offer ever. It's only the last title on the Euro Tour for 2019, guys. I know it's important, but the standard today has been exceptional. And the people who have paid their ticket money and paid their subscription to PDC TV, they have had an absolute fiesta today.
100.
Yeah, plenty of fiesta and no time for siesta, because it's been a high-octane day on the European Tour. One that I'll remember for a long time to come, because
97.
I mean, we talked during the interval about the qualities, the high standard of the Cross-Gerwyn Price match, which I described at the time as one of the best European Tour matches I've seen in some time. Ratajski was involved in another one, of course, earlier this year against Michael Smith.
Wow, that was good.
But the Wade Chisnell match just had something extra. 3 times a winner on the PDC circuit last year for Krzysztof Ratajski.
99.
The only non-tour card holder last year to reach multiple finals in a single calendar year. And also, he's won every final he's played in. 5 finals, 5 titles.
That's quite the strike rate.
So be warned, if he does make his way through to the final tonight, history suggests he'll win it.
140.
That is, of course, the bottom half of the draw.
170.
Aspinall against Chisnell. Whatever you're doing tonight, whatever you thought you were going to watch, cancel it. Watch that game. It's going to be unreal.
94.
Now, Ratajski couldn't take out the big fish. Ian White's in a great position here. He'll be first to strike at a double. to get himself a 2-0 lead. What does he fancy? Fancies tops.
26.
Wire bender.
Christopher, you require 76.
Christopher's had a lot of problems in the region of double 16 and double 8 this weekend, but he's nowhere near that right now.
Yeah, on the second leg, Christopher Ratajski.
Very neat and tidy. It's a
third leg, it's Christopher
break
throw
back
first.
for the
Game
Polish Eagle. This is his third European Tour quarter-final, I should say. The first was 2 years ago in 2017 at the Dutch Darts Masters. That was a terrific year for him. I think he qualified
54.
for the first 11, or certainly 11 of the 12 European Tour events that year as an Eastern European qualifier. And he also made the quarterfinals earlier this month at the European Darts Match Play in Mannheim as well. So he's well versed in the art of making it to the last 8.
100.
But he's yet to go any further.
Staggering
Is this his
statistic.
opportunity?
Staggering statistic, that. We've talked about that a little bit with Ratajski's games this weekend. You think of the quality and that strike rate that you brought up,
43.
Rob, of 5 out of 5 in finals. We think surely he's been deep in a Euro Tour. Well, this is as far as he's gone.
It tells you something about the mental side of his game as well, that he has been 100% in 5 finals so far. Now, people might say, well, okay, when he won that title earlier this month, people might say he was taking full advantage of a fairly depleted field. It was missing many of the big names in the sport. He beat Dimitri van den Berg in a dramatic final 8-7, but, you know, there's no asterisks at the bottom of the money list, is there, that says, well, he got £10,000, but we're going to take something off because it was a depleted field.
I can't stand it when people talk about depleted fields. And
still such a high-quality field as well.
Still got to win the thing. You still got to play great darts.
There's 127 players that didn't win it that weekend.
Correct.
That's the way you've got to see it.
And there were lots of other players who didn't even qualify to get in that event.
In Uruguay, 161.
Yeah, he beat Gabriel Clemens, who's done well on the Pro Tour this year as well. Beat him in the last 32. Battered Danny Noppert in the semi-finals 7-1. And he's now in the world's top 32 for the first time in his career. And do you know what? I think he's in the mood to stay there for a bit as well.
He's going to pitch his tent there, I think.
105.
I don't mind that square up to 140. 64. Whatever he hits, single or 25, he was going to leave a big shot. The likelihood is he's not going to be back. And he isn't. Clinical on doubles for Ian White. Beautiful.
4 leg is Ian to throw.
You're right about the mental strength of Ratajski, though, because he's really stoic up there. I wouldn't want to play cards against him, that's for sure.
Very difficult to read, and we've had 3 legs played. We've had 3 breaks of throw so far. Ian White looking to take firm control of this leg, however, on throw. Another costume change for our resident monkey.
Wouldn't be a Euro Tour at Gibraltar without a resident monkey.
87.
And the other argument as well about Ratajski and people who say, well, he took full advantage of a field in Hildesheim that was missing some big names. I mean, he has beaten some really good players this year as well.
45.
And he's produced some brilliance at times. I remember a match against Raymond van Barneveld on the Pro Tour as well. It was in the first round of one of the Players' Championship events. He made the quarterfinals, but he absolutely battered Barney, averaged 112 in that
100.
one. And he beat Gerwin Price in the last 16 as well. It was not an easy route that day, and he didn't really get his, I thought, deserved reward in the end.
Yeah, that's one of those games out there that I would, as a player and as a pundit, I would happily hand over my cash 100. To watch. Price against Ratajski has got more spice than a Vindaloo. Could get that
60.
In the semi-finals.
I think we might.
I think we're going to have plenty of spice in the next game too with Gurney against Price. They've got history. That's why this evening is just so good. Do not go anywhere else.
100.
I love the steely look of Ian White at the moment. There was a little bit of a celebration when he hit the 1-3-4 checkout in double 7 in leg 1, and you don't usually see that from Ian, but 94. Make no mistake, he wants 76. This title tonight. He wants to extend his lead over Michael Smith in the ranking titles list. He's trying to do what Ratajski did just now.
36. Christoph Uruguay 160.
That one was a Chris Waddle penalty right over the bar.
Still going that, I think.
Watch out. Oh, it didn't
Little
nestle.
deflection there, I thought as well, yeah.
In Uruguay 40.
Just a tad unfortunate there, Ratajski, but Ian White for a 3-1 lead, looking at tops. This is not a formality for Ian White. He's under pressure. Ratajski breathing down his neck.
20.
And he's fluffed his lines on that one.
Christoph Uruguay 20.
And this is for a 4th successive break of throw. Awkward double 5 for Ratajski, the number 7 seed.
Yeah, on the 4th leg, Christoph Ratajski.
2 apiece.
Well, one of the reasons why Ratajski is not having double trouble is he's not leaving double 16 and double 8, which, if you pardon the pun, earlier in the tournament he couldn't hit with a hedgehog.
140.
No dart that Ratajski throws is left wanting. There's a real extension of that arm. He places that dart with force through the air. I think the follow through of Ian White on every dart is about as good as anybody in the world.
80.
We know that Chisnell is a genius, the mad professor that he is, but the follow throughs on his darts, well, pretty much every single one of them is different.
Yeah, just between that second and third dart, it was just flowing like a river there for Ian White. 17 PDC titles between them, these two. 5 for Ratajski, 12 for Ian White. 3 of them on the Euro Tour, by the way. 3 of his 12 have come on the Euro Tour. 2 this year. He made 4 finals in a row, don't forget. German Open, Austrian Open, Sindelfingen, and then Zwolle as well.
I wonder if Ian White's got a target in mind for how many titles he wants to get. I won't be worried about that right now because Ratajski's had a great scoring leg here. He's going to have to rely on a big mistake from Christoph if Ian's going to get a shot. What a setup!
170. Wow. Christoph Uruguay 41.
Where these players are playing this evening, most of the weekend, but he's found it! Look at that reaction from Ratajski. That's a sign of what has happened before. That was a big shot for him and a big confidence booster in a corner of the board that he uses an awful lot.
Well, that's massive because Ian White got down to 11 after 9 darts in that one. Ratajski himself down to 41 after 9 darts. And that was a big pressure takeout for Christoph Ratajski. Very, very impressive indeed. And significantly as well, it's a first holder throw in this match.
85.
We have had some incredible quarter-final stages on the Euro Tour this year. No better than Saarbrücken earlier in the season, where all of the games were blockbusters.
139.
Tonight has been just as good.
$97.
A few years ago, when nobody knew a great deal about Ratajski, we all thought there was potential there because of all the experience he had in soft tip, all the stuff he did in the BDO system and playing the World Cup for Poland. He thought he was bubbling under the surface. We all thought it. But then it's this thing, it's the Euro Tour that's helped him to vault himself
100
to another level.
In Uruguay 170.
Boy, were we right.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the big moment in Ratajski's career was at the end of last year, or towards the end of last year, when he won those back-to-back titles on the Pro Tour. It was a landmark weekend, as well as the prize money. It assured himself of a place at the Players' Championship Finals and the World Championship and a tour card as well. That just opened so many doors for him.
139.
If anybody wins a tour card that way again, I'm going to call it the Christoph Ratajski route. Because I'm not so sure anybody's ever going to do that again.
It just all came together in one weekend. Is it coming together here for Ian White?
80.
No, it's not.
Christoph Uruguay 80.
And having got that elusive hold of throw, Ratajski is threatening another break of throw here. And Ian White is in a spot of bother. Tops for a 4-2 lead and a little bit of daylight between these two.
Christoph Ratajski. 7 leg is Christoph to throw first.
And from Warsaw to Gdansk to Poznan to Łódź, people are beginning to believe, Paul.
You have got some crazy knowledge of some countries in Europe, I have to tip my hat.
It's all to do with club football. If you know your club football, it helps.
I wouldn't want to play the alphabet game with you when it comes to sports teams. If you don't know what the alphabet game is, it's when you've got a very long car journey and you need to fill the time without use of electronic devices.
Yeah, if you're driving to Risa, for example, from Gibraltar, it's a good game to play.
Well, the Dutch crew that we have back here, where I mistakenly said that Dion, our tall director, was a cameraman. I do apologise, Dion. I hope you'll retract my red card. They've got a very long drive tomorrow. Takes something like 25 hours to get back to the Netherlands from here. It's a long old journey.
Yeah, they are, I think, some of the unsung heroes of the European Tour as well. The work they do, the logistical side of things to get to every event and to set everything up. Credit to you guys, and it's very much appreciated as well from all of us.
Absolutely.
At the PDC.
Echoed from me as well.
They're all welling up in tears now.
180!
Well, I'll tell you what, Ian White might be in tears if this carries on, because Ratajski down to 44 after 9 darts. He was down to 41 after 9 darts in leg 5. It's a similar story here. And Ian White
100
has only got down to 208.
44.
And this is for a second hold of throw. Double 16 again. The slow glide.
Yeah, on the 7th leg, Christopher Ratajski.
And Ratajski one leg away from another first, another milestone, and another very significant addition to his CV, which is being filled month on month here.
I was talking to Peter Wright after he played against Nathan Aspinall this evening.
99.
And he simply said, I was outplayed. I thought that was very magnanimous from Snakey. And right now, Ian White might be echoing that by going back to the practice room. Ratajski has played
68.
Sublime stuff in the last 20 minutes.
Well, he is the first Polish player to win a major TV title. He won the Winmore World Masters in Bridlington a couple of years ago, one of the BDO's most prestigious titles.
136.
It's something that's been on their calendar since the 1970s. And who would back against him becoming the first ever Polish winner of a European Tour title? First ever Polish winner of a PDC title.
96.
Keeps going like this, he's going to get his own statue in Poland. He is one of the most important sports stars in Poland for me. He is the Robert Lewandowski of darts.
31.
Yeah.
He's quite handy at football, isn't he?
Knows where the back of the net is.
Knows how to finish. And that's
so
exactly
true.
how Ratajski needs to feel right now. He needs to finish the job.
100.
There's a lot of quiet Diamond fans out there. Ian has brought quite the crew with him this weekend, and he's been here for a few days. But it's not looking good if you're in the corner of Ian White.
Yeah, I was chatting to some of them last night as well.
40.
Well, that just about sums up Ian White's evening, especially over the last 3 legs or so. He's trying to just get himself going and pick himself up.
140.
It's all going right for Ratajski, and it's all going wrong for Ian White.
Ratajski is just not giving him anything to work with at all here. Christoph Ratajski has beaten Ian White before, a UK Open qualifier at the start of last year. 6-5 the score that day.
84.
They've never met on the European Tour before. Ian White won their most recent meeting earlier this year on the Pro Tour. Treble 19 not found. 60 away. Sets it up to lead tops.
And you've got 111.
It's a tall order for Ian White.
Needs Nelson. Oh, that pretty much nails it.
83.
It's a good last start.
40.
But it's only one dart that Ratajski needs to put himself through to play against Gurney or Price.
Christoph Ratajski, Poland's number 1. 1 dart in hand at tops for a place in the semi-finals here in Gibraltar. And how big a moment will that prove to be in the long run?
Ian White will still believe that he can win this game now. Just got to take care of this double 14. Does so. And all of a sudden, the crowd get involved. And will they help him to try and get the next 3 legs? Bad news is, apart from the scoreline, he's got to break him twice.
3 missed match darts for Christoph Ratajski, all at tops. And that will be damaging. And he's just got to make sure that he can just pick himself up and not dwell too much on that. because all of a sudden this can quickly change. The whole dynamic of the match could change very, very swiftly.
Yeah, they weren't bad darts at tops. They were just, unfortunately, on the wrong side of the wire. You can throw them really well, but the way his darts land, sometimes they can be too close.
42.
Only one ton plus finish in this match, and it was that belter of a 1-3-4 in the first leg. Don't see many 1-3-4 outs on double 7.
Yeah, we had an absolute embarrassment of riches as far as the ton plus finishes were concerned in the previous match, featuring Wade and Chisnell. Ian White is out averaging Ratajski at the moment, by the way, 95 to 91.
137.
Look at the people wafting their 180 signs in their fans out there. Looks like a Tuesday morning at the Trade Centre doing the NASDAQ.
It's a very warm evening. The temperature has not really subsided significantly. It's a good attendance tonight as well.
98.
Not too many spare seats to be had on the floor. Ratajski 2-6-3 away. Making inroads with this visit as well.
99.
A sensible last start, that. He's thinking clearly. Moving to the 19th.
Yeah, I can't remember a weekend where I've seen so many people leaving bogey numbers, but not on this occasion for Christoph. Spirit from Ian White. He still believes.
164.
Well, one step at a time. He's got to break this down into bite-sized chunks, as Ian White. This is the next objective, breaking the Ratajski throw.
How much you would love a treble 17.
94.
Both on two darters, very similar. Ian White looking at the floor, doing that characteristic toe to the hockey. Gets himself one chance at double 16 to stay alive.
35.
Well, that might be that. Ratajski has already passed up 3 opportunities on double 20. 70 points away from a place in the semi-finals. And he's looking at double 16 for the match, for a 6-3 win. It would be a third successive 6-3 win, but it's not to be. Another missed match start.
Similar efforts at double 16 there. Missed by the same sort of margin, a good 2 centimetres away. North. Northeast.
28.
Got to say, he's had the chance to get himself back in the game, and he hasn't been able to take it. Ratajski can put the guillotine down right now.